minus 3/12 is 11/12, which makes that the 12th root of 11, or 12th root of y to the 11th power. Yeah? Yeah. Where are you going to go first in F? Because F is a little tricky. There's this squared out here. Does that squared apply to the B? No, only to the A. And you're going to multiply, right? So what happens to that 2 and that 2? They cancel out. So I have A cubed B to the 1/2 over A cubed B to the 3. What happens right there? They cancel, so they're gone. So 1/2 minus 3 is B to the 5/2, because 2.5, negative 5/2, correct? Is negative exponent allowed? So it's 1 over B to the 5/2, and then turn it into a radical, square root of B to the 5th. What do you got to do in G? Numbers and letters are separate, right? So it's 2, 1/5 minus 3/5 is what? One-fifth minus 3/5. 4/5. Does that apply to the 2? No. So it's 2 5th root x to the 11th. Hey, man. I love that. Get it? Anyways. And I feel like writing this last one in purple. Oh my good gravy. What do I do? It's a giant mess. Lots of things you could do now. What are some options to start H? Pardon me? You could simplify there, yeah? Okay, so that would get us A to the 4/3 over 9. Okay. Where else could I do some work? (81 to the 3/4). That is the 4th root of 81 cubed, right? What's the 4th root of 81? 3. What's 3 cubed? 27. So I got 27 down there and an A there. Now it's a lot easier to look at, right? What does that mean I need to do? Flip the second one, right? So I got A to the 4/3 over 9 times 27 over A. Now I can simplify there and there and there and there. What happens with 27 and 9? 1, 3, right? So now I've got 3A to the 4/3 over A. What can I do there? How many thirds is there in that exponent? 3/3, right? 4/3 minus 1, 3/3? 1/3. 3A to the 1/3. Or 3 cube root A. Everyone is good? Excellent. If you are indeed good, you guys do A, B, and C. Okay, so what do we got up top? (12x to the 9/4) over negative 3x to the negative 3/4. What's 12 divided by negative 3? negative 4. 9/4 minus 3/4 is x to the x to the 3. Yes, you did 12/4 and then you simplified already. Nice. What about in here? What should you do? I would simplify inside. What's 768 divided by 3? 256. Then I would make that C over B. Oh, actually, I wouldn't. Sorry. I didn't look at the outside exponent. So Ayaka dealt with the inside first. Then then what did you do? You brought the exponents inside, so you had 256 to the negative 3/8 b to the positive 3/8 over c to the positive 3/8. Then what? You brought the 256 down to have b to the 3/8 over 256 to the 3/8 c to the 3/8. And then you could simplify 256 to the 3/8 because the 8th root of 256 is 2. Right? Yeah. And then 2 cubed is 8. So you would have had b to the 3/8 over 8c to the 3/8 if you went all the way through. If you stopped there right now, not too bad. I'm mostly pretty happy. Okay? Yeah? Yeah. Now, this guy up here, kind of a mess. I would deal with this first. So that's a to the 1/3, a to the 10/15, which is 2/3, over a to the 4/3. And then that is a to the negative 1/3 over a to the 4/3. Negative 1/3 minus 4/3 is a to the negative 5/3, which is 1 over a to the 5/3. And then, of course, you could go one step further. Oh, no, I wanted it only as a power. Negative 1 minus 4? One third minus 2/3 is negative 1/3. Negative 1/3 minus 4/3 is negative 5/3. And then negative 5/3 isn't allowed, so we go there. Okay? Once again, I remind you, you cannot let your fraction skills from grade 4 go. You must still be able to deal with fractions. All right, that was 10 minutes to do 3. This one has 6. But there's no there's no dividing. So I'm going to give you, what do you need for that? 10, because there's no fractions. Go. Talk to your neighbors, work it out. Question me if you want. I worked very quickly, and as you can see, I did very little work. So it's possible I've made an error. So please, if you have something different than me, and you look back at yours, and you look up at mine, you look back at yours, and you can't see how I possibly got this, then double check, and I'll actually write it out. Yes. Negative 7 over x cubed. Everyone is happy, happy, joy, joy. To quote Ren and Stimpy, none of you know who that is. Ren and Stimpy? They were a show in the 90s. No. Huh? I don't know. I don't know. I can't see the future. If I could see the future, I would already know if I'm going to win $55 million tonight. But I don't. If I do win $55 million tonight, do not expect to see me on Monday. I'm not one of those people who will win $55 million in lottery and say, I'm not going to change it all. I'm still going to go work Monday. Whatever. Those people are the biggest liars in the world. Yeah, because I want to go work when I have $55 million in the bank. What would I do? Put it into a savings account, collect interest, live off the interest. Where would I live? There you go. How many surfboards would I have? One for every day of my life. Why not? I have $55 million. No, I wouldn't. That just goes to show how little you guys understand numbers. One surfboard for every day of my life. Well, there's only 7 days a week. Good surfboard's $500. What other expenses? $55 million. Even if I got 1% interest a year, which is garbage. That's crap interest. You would get way more than 1%. Even if I only got 1% interest, that would be $550,000 a year. I would get more than that. I'd get like 10%. Huh? 43. It's Lotto Max. You get a lump sum. The ones you have to choose lump sum or over time are those like Daily Grand and all that. They'll buy you out right away. Because on those, like if you get $1,000 a month for the rest of your life, it's only until you die and it doesn't transfer. So if I got hit by a bus in 2 months, I would have won $2,000. But you can take a lump sum payment usually of $1 million. Of course you take the lump sum payment. Of course. No, you don't get taxed on lottery winnings. You get taxed on income from lottery winnings. So that original $1 million, no taxes. But all the interest on that $1 million gets taxed. Unless you live in America. But fortunately, I don't. And Ecuador's taxes are even nicer than here's. Everybody's good? Wow, makes me so happy. Now, you have a choice here. You could simplify there and there, or you could simplify there and there. Up to you. Do I care which one you do? Of course not. So, since this one's slightly different, I'm going to work this one with you, then I'm going to let you go with all these. So, where do you want to simplify? If you were doing this 11a, where would you start? You would do just this one first. Okay, so that's 8. A to the what? A to the 10th. B to the negative 2. Times negative 8. A to the negative 2 over negative 3. B to the negative 3. Now where would you go? I would go across there. Personally, where would you go? Why would you flip any? Oh, you would flip all your negative exponents now, Lucas? So Lucas would go 8a to the 10th over b squared times negative 8b cubed over negative 3a squared. You'd do that. Okay? Then where? Then you would do your crossy-crossy. So you deal with these two a's would be gone, right? And that would make these a's 8. And these two b's would be gone. And that would make this b 1, right? Then what?
Multiply again.
Multiply again. 8 times negative 8 would get you negative 64 A8B over negative 3. Then what?
Now you simplify 64 with 3.
64 and 3. Does it simplify?
Oh, no.
No, but since they're both negative, it simplifies to positive. Anything here with the A's? Anything there with the A's?
No.
Excellently done. You guys do the next 3. Go. Oh, wait. No. Go. It's 3 questions. I'm thinking 9 minutes. And I'm going to surprise you with a new sound for the timer. Got it. These are hard, right? So there's the answers highlighted. Check them over. Make sure you're happy with them. Everybody happy? Now, please notice I've done a couple of weird things because a lot of you do this work differently from me, right? In this first one, I did just the fraction because negative 2 to the negative 2 is positive 1/4. So I just left it as a fraction there. Whereas over here, I did the whole thing all the way through. And I moved the stuff later. Right? I left that as a fraction, but then I moved it in here later. Is there a right way to do it? No, don't care how you do it. Whatever works for you. But who knows what works best for you? You do. So I don't know if you prefer, if I gave you something like this, 5a squared to the negative 2. I don't know if you prefer, you could do this. 1 over 5a squared squared. That would be okay. Maybe you want to do this. 5 to the negative 2, a to the negative 4. Then convert it to 1 over 5 to the positive 2, a to the positive 4. You might want to do that. Or you might want to do this. 1 over 5 squared, and then 1 over a to the 4th. They're all equally right. Yes? C, right here. So I dealt with the first one. I brought the 2 here to get 1/4. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. Then I came over here. Negative 2 cubed is negative 8. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 8 times 3 is negative 24. 12 times 3 is 36. Then I put them together. Numbers with numbers. Negative 8 times a quarter is negative 2. Negative 10 plus 6, negative 4. Negative 6 minus 24, negative 30. And negative 16 plus 36, positive 20. Then I moved everything that was negative, the two exponents, to the denominator. No problem at all, Lucas. And then D was really hard. If you didn't get D, then you're sitting at like an A minus in this class. If you got everything up to D, that's the level you're at. If you were able to nail D first try, then you're cruising for an A in exponents, because D was hard.
What about if you get D and you didn't get C?
Same thing. You're still sitting at an A for exponents.
Can I go to the washroom?
Is everybody good? You'll notice I'm trying to hold off on starting something new on a Friday afternoon, but that's the end of exponents. Are we okay? Now, please, ladies and gentlemen, remember, exponents are not the end of the use of this, right? This little unit isn't the end. Okay? We are going to use those exponent laws all the way through. Okay? You can't do that thing where kids do it, where you write a test on it and you forget about it all. If you haven't figured this out yet, everything you've done from kindergarten to the end of grade 10 is in pre-calc 11. Everything. You can't have let anything go. All right? So, you have 2 blank pages of test reminders now, I believe. First thing we're going to do is tell you your test is going to be Tuesday, September, blah, blah, blah. September 18th. It will be on exponents. It will be on all laws and moving between radicals and exponents. Okay? So everything we've been doing plus x to the 2/3 being the cubed root of x squared. Oakley dokley?
Are you going to have a multiple choice?
I don't remember. I haven't looked at the test in a year. You have crap tons of practice, yes? Do I need to spend a lot of time doing test reminders now? Is there anything people are a little dodgy on still? By a little dodgy, I mean you're not 100% sure. If I were to guess, a lot of you seem to be having some issues with something like this. -5 to the -2 over over 3 to the -2. This causes trouble because there's negative exponents and negative bases. Are you all feeling okay with this now? Yeah? 2 ways you could do it. You could bring the 2 in everywhere, or you could flip the fraction, yes? If you choose to flip this fraction, does that guy become positive? No. Only that guy. Maybe he'll become positive in a later step, but he doesn't in the original flip. Okay? What about this guy? Does anything happen to his sign in the original flip? No. If that guy stays negative all the way through, can he be negative at the end? Yes. Negative bases are allowed. Okay? And of course, this one that still causes people trouble. Which one of those two answers is negative? The top or the bottom? The top. Okay? What if I add this? Oops, I want that to be. Now which are negative? Top, middle, or bottom? Top and bottom. Now which ones are negative? All three. Or not. Which one isn't? Now the bottom one is what? Now the bottom one's positive. Everybody good? Everyone's ready for a test on Tuesday? I can even tell you right now, it will be last block on Tuesday. Okay? Okay. Everything we have done in the whole book, except for that warm-up at the beginning. That's grade 10 stuff. So whatever the book starts with, I don't remember. It starts, I think, on page 1. From page 1 to page 26. Yep. All of that could be on your test. Lucas. I have no idea. Would it matter? How? There's 20 million questions. No, it isn't. Lucas, there will be, as always, if you know what you are doing, you will have way more time than you need. If you don't know what you're doing, all the time in the world isn't going to help you, is it? Right? You could give me a math test written in, you're from Brazil, yes? If you gave me a math test with all the instructions written in Portuguese, and you gave me an infinite amount of time, would I pass the test?
Yes.
No, because I would have to learn Portuguese, and I wouldn't be able to do it. Because I don't know how to read Portuguese. Whether I had more time or not would not help me pass that test. It applies the same way in math. If you are not good and you do not know how to do the math, it doesn't matter how much time I give you. Right? If you don't know that 5 plus 2 is 7, and I give you 2 hours to try and figure it out, but you don't know that, then it doesn't matter if I give you 4 hours, you're still not going to get it. Which is something I've never understood about you people. I just need some more time. You go too fast. But you don't know how to do it. No, I know, but if I had more time, I would know how to do it. But you didn't learn how to do it. Right? I don't know how to ride a bike. Go outside, ride a bike. I'll give you an hour to figure it out. I don't know how to ride a bike. Yeah, everybody says that, except for the people that don't know how to ride a bike. Right? All right. Of course you can. It is 12:45. Class on a Friday, that's a normal Friday, goes until 1? Straight up 1? Straight up 1. We got 15 minutes left. Yep. I give you 15 minutes off. No point starting something new. We'll start it on Monday. But there's a rule to 15 minutes off. If I hear what you are talking about, then I'm starting to put work back on the board. Does everybody understand?
What does that mean?
That means if you are speaking so loudly that your conversation with the person who's this far from you gets all the way up to my ears, we'll just do work. Watch this. Hey, Parneet, what's your favorite kind of food? See, what did I just ask Parneet?
No idea.
Exactly. Did we have a conversation, Parneet? Did you hear a word of it? There you go. And Parneet and I are a lot further apart than you three. Not that I'm pointing fingers at anyone. But there are only 3 people who I consistently heard during the work time today. And they may or may not have been you 3. I said they may or may not have been. If you feel they were you 3, perhaps you have a guilty conscience. And perhaps you're confessing. Yes? Pardon me? That reminds me, if you are one of the people that didn't give me the mark out of 36, maybe you want to come and tell me it right now.
35
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. I tried.